Hey everyone, welcome back to Making Up with Sydney, and today I wanted to do a video on the Jaclyn Hill palette. So as you can see, I have two right here, and why is because I want to do a compare and contrast kind of thing on the old packaging, which I got from the Morphe website, versus the new one that is at Ulta and is in Ulta stores currently. So I do want to preface this with that palettes do differ from batch to batch. This one is mostly about the packaging, but I am going to swatch a few shades on camera for the first time to see if they are different at all in pigmentation. I did use the new one on my eyes today, and I used the old one on my eyes before, and so far with the warm shades I think they're pretty much the same, but I do want to try some of the more intense shimmers to see. The first thing I like to say about both palettes I dislike is the packaging is white, and why I don't like that is because just white packaging in general gets very dirty, it gets beat up, it shows every scratch, no matter whether it's the soft touch like this one has the soft touch on it, and this one has the gloss over it. So let me see if I can tilt it. Yeah, you can probably see now that it has the gloss, whereas this one is just the matte packaging. So the designs of the front look almost exactly the same, except for the Morphe logo in the bottom. I don't know what the difference on that is. I'm not really sure why they did that. I do like this one better than this one, so if you're a packaging, person and that's really important to you, then maybe you'll look into that. Like I said, the gloss, I think it's great. I'm going to keep the glossy one for me, for personal, and I'm going to disinfect this one and use it for friends, family, and maybe future clients. So yeah, and then I want to look at the back. This is a big thing that everyone talked about, and that is the shade names. And that little sheet that if you bought the old packaging, it's on the back but blown up, and it has all the shade names, and it has even like a picture of the actual color, which if you've seen other palettes, sometimes they're like this, they have the color, and sometimes they have just like a little circle and then it has like the name. So I really like this. I think this is amazing, and I think even if you have the old one, if you are obsessed with this palette and this is your palette, then maybe you should get this one, because also Ulta always has coupons. Right now you can use a 20% off at Ulta, either in-store or online, and get 20% off this palette. So I think that's amazing that you can do that, whereas Morphe, I think the highest you can get is 10. So the back of the Morphe one just says Morphe times Jaclyn Hill, and has all the JHs, which I really don't like this design. I actually extremely dislike it. I just think it's really gaudy and kind of like, I don't know. I've never been a fan of even the designer bags that have like the, like I love Michael Kors, but like the MK, like I just don't like that. I'm like, your name's on the front of it. Like, why does it need to be all over the back? Just saying, just saying. So the inside of each palette is still that like gray sort of situation, and it says this palette is dedicated to all my loving subscribers. XO Jaclyn has her signature, and here's the shades in the new one, which these shades are the same. We'll see if the quality is the same, and this is the old one. So I think what I'm gonna try is, let's go in with this shade right here, and this one, I'm gonna look on the new one to see what it's called. Queen. It's called Queen. And that's the old one. You saw me swatch that. And then we're gonna, so yeah, that is the pigmentation on the old one. I am going to rub it down. And here's the pigmentation on the new one. I'm using a different finger. This is the one I used for the old, this is the new. And let's see here. Yeah, I mean, they look about the same to me. I don't notice a huge difference, and I have used both of these on both the eye looks that I did with this palette, the old and the new, and to me it performed the same on the eyes. So that is the first shade I wanted to use. I do want to dip into this shade, which is this one right here, Sissy. And I'm going to use my fingers. So this one, old, this one, new. And we're going to do old right here and new right on top of that. Okay, so that is Sissy. I think it looks pretty identical. I don't see really any difference. There's the same amount of fallout in both one. You can even see it on my hand. And these really like metallic-y shades from the Jaclyn Hill palette, they do have that, but I think it works really well. And I only apply shimmers with my fingers personally, and that's what I would recommend for this palette because you're gonna get the most color payoff. I think the next shade that I'm really curious about is this one right here, because I feel like blues and purples are super hard to do, and that's Jada. So let's see here. All right, this is in the old palette. That is, wow, that's like really pigmented on my finger. And let's do the new palette. All right, to the touch they feel about the same, but let's see. Old, this one, new. Okay, I'm gonna rub them out. Okay, I will say the old one, which is on the bottom, did apply better, and when I touched the one in the new one, I actually will say it was a little scratchy in comparison. So I don't think that it'll translate too different on your eyes, but you can kind of see up close. Like this is the old one, this is a new one. This one's just a little, like just a tad bit less pigmented. And that's Jada. I think the next shade I'm gonna go into, I think the black would be a good test of it, which is Abyss. So we're gonna go into Abyss. That was just some flecks of, okay, the black is scratchy. That was some fallout that I blew off the palette. And then in this one, the black is also pretty scratchy. Alright, so old, new. They look about the same. The black is scratchy in both. It's not the best black. I'm just gonna wipe this off on the back of my hand. But yeah, so it is what it is. I'm gonna definitely do this purple and blue. So I'm gonna do the purple and the blue from the old palette. So I'm just gonna do those both at the same time. Those are gonna be the last shades I think I'm gonna do. This is from the old palette. I'm gonna do it on my wrist. Oh god, that is beautiful. Oh wow, that is insane. I'm gonna use these two fingers. So that's my pinky. Ooh, that is really soft. Okay, so pinky for the new, and then ring finger for the new, and then you can see, so the two on this side are the old, this is the new. So I'm going to take a look right up here, not on the camera. I think they look the same, but if anything, the new one had less crumbling on the purple. So overall, I would say that these two palettes are pretty identical as far as pigmentation. There are slight differences between colors, but that is to be expected with all palettes. You shouldn't think that palettes from different batches are going to be the exact same. It's just not realistic with something like makeup. Like, they should be very similar, and I think these are. See, that's like the soft touch. You can wipe it off, whereas this one's gonna be really hard to clean, but they should be very, very similar in quality, and these two palettes are. So if I were to recommend to you, I would recommend to buy it from Ulta. Also, you can swatch it, see if it's to your liking, and the return policy is immensely better. I hate having to ship things back. So if you were to order this from Morphe or online from a retailer not like that was different than Ulta, first of all, if it's anywhere from other than Morphe or Ulta, it might not be real. Second of all, if it comes damaged from Ulta, it's very easy to return. I'm sure Morphe has a great return policy if their products are broken. However, you have to go through all the shipping and all that, and I don't like that hassle. So I'm really glad that I did get a second palette, even though that might seem a little excessive to some people. But this one I do plan on using on clients, friends, family. I'm really getting into doing other people's makeup again. And yeah, so that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later. Bye!